Hello everyone, and welcome to Harv's World for episode 8 of the Pacific Northwest. It is 7:14 in the morning and we are off and running already. Just putting on the second application of fertilizer. I've already done the grass field, and as you can see our oat field is growing nicely, but it did need that last application of fertilizer. This will take care of it, then all we have to do is wait for it to finish growing. And that takes care of that. And our little Fent is eventually going to make it up this hill, and we'll get back over to the farm. Park this thing up, and then we get to make some money. Because overnight, while I was sleeping, our crop prices moved into a place where we can make some good money off of what's in the silos now. When I harvested our fields yesterday, they went straight in the silo. None of that got sold. And I did a few small harvesting contracts last night, and the prices weren't good while I was doing those, so I just put that crop in our silo also, and as I will show you here in just a second. We have got almost 80,000 liters of wheat, and it's selling for $7.70 right now at the Timberline flour mill. That's a really good price. Well, it's a very good price. It could get higher, but I'm good with $7.70. And then we've got almost 30,000 liters of canola, and that's at $12.29 right now. Not quite what I'd like it to be. I'm shooting for more around $13.50, but while I'm selling this wheat, we're going to keep an eye on that price and hope it goes up. But at the moment, let's start hauling some wheat. It's going to take about 4 trips over and back. I am not going to make you sit through every single one, maybe just the first one. Now, having this almost 80,000 liters of wheat makes me consider the possibility of buying a larger trailer. Wouldn't be the worst idea we ever had. Let's get our 4-ways on. And you know, I think it's pretty close to time to buy a little more powerful tractor too. So many things I want to get done, so many things that I want to do. Just need to keep that money coming in. This should give us a good boost though. But now that we have a substantial grass field, I think I need to start looking at just outright purchasing grass management equipment, mowers, tedder, windrower, baler, all of that stuff that we're going to be using frequently. Alright, let's see what this first trailer pays us. $16,000 outstanding. Multiply that by 4. We're looking at about 64,000, a little bit less maybe. No, 64,000 I think is going to be right about where we're at. So let me get these other 3 loads done. We'll take a look at that canola price again, and then we'll move on from there. So there we go, all of our wheat's been sold off, and we made quite the substantial income from that. Let's take a look at our finance screen. So if we go into farm finances, we can now see that our harvest income was $61,743. We made a nice chunk of change there. And we can also look back and see yesterday was a big day for contracts. Brought in $201,000 just from doing contracts, so that's really got us up there nicely, $354,801. And I was going to also check the canola price. It's still climbing, and that's at the restaurant down in the valley. We are doing well, very well at this point. But anyone who plays Farm Simulator knows that $354,000 is not a lot of money. I mean, it seems like a lot of money, but we could spend that in about 5 minutes. And we really need to. There are many things we need. Starting to feel the effects of having these smaller starting tractors. They're still doing well. I don't have any complaints other than they're a little bit slow and not quite as powerful as I would like. You can see we struggle to pull the hills from time to time. I can't imagine needing this trailer for anything else, so I'm going to go ahead and fill it with canola, and then we're going to look at buying our grass equipment. And then I had a lead on something that we might just start on also. But let's get this done first. And we will just leave that right here for now. Okay, so if we go into our store, well, the first thing we know with those big grass fields is we're going to need mowers. And I've looked at these a little bit, and the NovaCat 8X Varia and the NovaCat 301 Varia work in conjunction with one another. There are some nice features on these, the biggest one being that they have a swathing mode, and they're not horribly expensive, so I am going to buy that and its counterpart. Now what I like about this is that the PTO attaches from either side. You can hook up to either side. That makes mowing much easier in my opinion, because we can just put the front mower right there attached to the tractor and have all of our mowing in one place, which allows us to put another implement on the back side of the tractor. So we run this on the front, put our implement on the back, and we're getting 8.4 meters of mowing width, and so we are going to buy that. Now the next thing that we're going to need, we know we need a tedder, and we know we need it to be at least 8.4 meters wide. Let's see what our options are. 13 8.7, this Fendt Twister 8608DN. I like the look of that. That's just a little narrow. And the Kuhn 8712, GF 8712. Basically the same as the Fendt Twister 8608DN, but I am a Fendt fan, so I'm going to spend the extra $1,000 and pick that up. Next up to bat, we are going to need a windrower. Now, I don't want to spend a fortune on these, and it's really easy to spend a fortune on these. And width is not a factor because we are not going to be windrowing behind anything. This is pretty much going to be a solo job, but I'd like to get something that's going to build some nice big windrows for us. The Kuhn at 9.3 meters is 30,000. How much was that Fendt? 42. $12,000 difference is far too much for me to say I'm a Fendt fan. So, yep, we're going to go with the GA 9531. And last but probably not least, we need a baler. And as we saw earlier, we've got a older model John Deere, but it handled everything just fine, and that's going to be our next purchase. At only $12,000, you can't hardly beat it. And that's a big buy too. And one more thing that we're going to need, and I'm going to see how much it costs before I jump on any bandwagons. The bale wrapper is 54,000. Now we're not going to be using that every single time, so I think I might stick with, what's the lease cost on that? 2,700. Yeah, I think for now I'm going to stick with leasing that as it's needed. Nope, just gonna buy it. Gonna buy it, be done with it. That still leaves us with $180,000. Not too shabby, and we still have canola to sell off. So we're doing all right. I think my next purchase is going to be a more powerful tractor. I think we're going to need that, especially with all of this mowing equipment and such. You put two mowers, you know, the front mower and the butterfly mower, and then you've got an implement working behind you, the baler or the tedder, and you're talking some serious horsepower. Now I think the case would handle that, but it's going to be really lugging to get that job done. It's not going to be pretty. Now the reason I'm coming over here is the final thing that I want to do is we need a place to put this stuff, and so I want a shed close by my grass field. And I'd spotted one earlier that I liked. Yeah, this small shelter should do us well. Should have plenty of room for that that grass equipment. We've got an open space right here that isn't being used for anything, except it's growing a couple trees and will not be in the way of those trees. I do want to push this back out of the way just a little bit. Not too close to our horse pasture. I'll take a look. 6,151. Let's see if sliding that up and down makes a difference at all. Oh yeah. We're gonna save some money just by dropping that down a little bit. I am going to park that right there. Boom. So now we have a place to park our mowing and grass management equipment, if we want to call it that. Our grass is growing quite nicely, as you can see. And I am going to start hauling that stuff up from the store. So as you can see, I'm just bringing in the last piece of equipment, the bale wrapper. And it looks like this little shed was just right for grass equipment. I think I can slide this in right next to that baler, and we will have easy access anytime we need to take care of our grass. So, and that should be pretty frequently. That will be frequently, I can almost guarantee it. There we go. As you can see, everything's in there snug as a bug. And just to reiterate what I was talking about earlier, 174,000 spent on equipment today, and wow, exactly half of what we had. So we're still hanging on to 175 almost, and I still have the canola to sell. I'm not sure that's going to necessarily happen today though, because that price did top off and it's not really where I want it to be. take a look at that one more time here. Yeah, $12.34. That's $100 lower than I want it to be. Timberline price is coming up. We'll see where that's going to stop. And I just realized I needed to bring my trailer back over and park it up. But I do have a lead on a job. Something we can do that's out of the ordinary and will set us up for the future also, because we're going to need to be doing this same job on our own farm in a few days. Now, while I was down at the shop picking up my equipment, I was talking to a couple guys, and they told me that the spinnery is looking for someone to do a job for them. And that job is logging. They want someone to pull some trees out for them and put in a parking lot. Now, the spinnery is pretty new. They've just built up, and they did not anticipate their volume, apparently, because they had a lot more cotton farmers around here than they anticipated. And they don't have enough employee parking, so they needed somebody to lay out a parking lot. Because they are newly constructed, they didn't have a lot to spend on that. So what they're proposing is, if we do the logging, we can keep what's ever on the land. Anything that we take off, we can keep and sell. That will be our profit. Now, I went down and took a look at the place they're talking about. It's right next to their lot. That'll do. Let me show you on the map here. So yeah, right here's the spinnery. This land right here is where they need the trees removed. Now, the one stipulation was that we leave any trees closest to the road and any trees along the river, just to reduce their landscaping costs in the future, I guess. I don't know. I don't care. But I told them I could get the job done for them. So I am going to grab the case for this. Going to head on down to the store and look at leasing some equipment to get that job done. So let's go see what we can get our hands on here. Now, I know I'm going to need a chainsaw. They all look the same to me. I like the black and yellow. No, we've got this one. Yes, we're going with that because it's closest to our colors. Next thing that I'm going to need is something to lift and haul this stuff with. Now, the leasing cost on that is $2,754. Pretty spendy, but it's got a crane. I like it. And I think that's all we should need, right? Nope, there's one more thing. We need a stump grinder. And for 127 bucks, heck, it's only 2,500 to buy, but we're just going to lease it for now. these fellows don't mind, but I'm going to leave my weight here. I'm sure they won't, because I've got seed pallets over here. One of the contracts I picked up was seeding, and when I was done, rather than let them take the seed with them, oh, silly. Silly. I emptied the seed in the parking lot here, so we will have it for our future use at some time. Here's the spot. Quite a few trees that need to come out. And it's certainly not going to get done if we stand around looking at it, so let's get to cutting. I think. Oh, yep. Get as close to the ground as we can. And just go along here, trim off any. There we go. That's one. We got a long way to go. This is going to be a pretty long job, but in the long run, hopefully it'll be worth it. These branches are being stubborn for some odd reason. I see, the tree fell in just the wrong way. I will just push it right back onto our workspace. Hopefully that'll do the trick. There we go. Now, I guess the next question I have is, how long is this trailer? About 4 meters. And I can overhang, so we are going to right there. That's going to be our length, 6 meters. Well, I'll tell you what. I think we're going to make a change. Alright, so here we go. We've got the Flegel lumber trailer. Now I'm going to go cut this second up and I will show you the absolute beauty of that trailer. I'm still going to try to keep these right at about 6 meters. That out to 12. They're not going to be perfect, but close enough. Okay. The beauty of this trailer is this right here. That's the kind of loading I'm talking about. So now I am just going to start chopping. Just going around right now to pick up the last of the wood. The guys came out from inside and said that was going to be enough. And I'm not going to complain because, frankly, this has been a job and a half. Even with the auto-load trailer, it was a lot of work. And this is just the first part of the job. The payoff, however, is remarkable. Let me run over to the sawmill and show you exactly what I'm talking about. Now this isn't even close to how this trailer was being loaded before, as I'm sure you saw at some point. But you can see that our money has gone up pretty significantly. And we're going to get just a little bit more. Now this is the payoff portion. The next portion is just work that we have to do to get the job done that they asked for. We need to put in a parking lot. And so we will do some landscaping to take care of that. Now all the stumps are still there. I haven't ground those out yet. That's going to be not quite the next task, but close to it. So here's our wood cell point, not too far away. And there we go. Just that small pile, only half the trailer full, and that was 18,000, almost 19,000. And if we go back and look at our wood sold today, we made 146,000 on this deal, so I am not going to complain. I was kind of expecting to do the rest of that, but they decided that that was just going to be too big. So they told me to shut it down and just pave the part that I had already done. And I will be happy to do that for the kind of money that we just made. And let's grab our landscaping tool. There we go. Wow. Okay. So we definitely want to go into paint mode, and let's see if we can match this dirt color. There we go. And I expect our parking lot to run right along here. Right back up to here. Right along this tree line. Out to there, and we'll bring it around like so. Yeah, just about like that. And we'll clear out all of the shrubbery so we can see exactly what we're working with. Make my brush a little bigger so I can do this faster. There we go. Look at all those stumps. That was quite a few trees. That's the first part of our landscaping. Now, I need to get in there with this thing. Start grinding out these stumps. Landscaping again. And earlier I was just trying to match their road color, get down to the dirt so I could really see those stumps. Now we're going to actually put in our parking lot, and there we go. I think we'll just make it a nice, lovely gravel parking lot. Yeah, the square brushes are nice for getting straight lines, but when you've got a rounded kind of edge like this, obviously, oh, look at that, one more stump. Well, that's okay. That'll be easy enough to take care of. And we'll turn this back to grass along here. But this is a lovely little spot. Got the river running there, the trees. I'm glad they stopped me when I did. The trees are just right the way they are. Get the grass put back in. This will grow back in time. I know I screwed up a spot back there, but that's okay. And there we go. One nice, big, lovely parking lot. Look at that. Now if they want to, they can pay somebody to come in and paint it for them. I didn't sign up for any painting. Although, I'm not going to leave this tree stump over here either. Where was that? It's in the shadows, that's why I missed it. There we go. Well, there's a little bit of a stump there too. Outstanding. It's 3:30 in the afternoon. I am going to run this stuff back over to the store, and I will see you up at the farm. And that was a big project for today, the parking lot. And there isn't much else left to do on the farm for today, so I think we're going to call it for episode 8. This is probably going to be a very short one. But next episode, I'm sure we will have lots and lots to get done, and hopefully more money in the bank, and we'll push those cows forward. So until then, I appreciate you joining me for another episode, and we'll see you next time. Take care.